Greetings and welcome again to this edition of Washington Demon Coaches Show, or the Patterson Van Weelden Power Hour. We should can we get a jingle?
Yeah.
I think we should get a jingle. Just a couple of years ago, we got one for the hospital, and I'll tell you what, it's been really nice to have a jingle.
Let's make sure we approve it.
Yeah, we should probably listen to it first, right? And I don't like to just throw my name around.
No.
I like to have it be kind of, trademark protected. There's a lot of brand equity there, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, hey. I feel honored to be here with you, just so you know.
Yeah, well, I felt like you might. Well, I'm joined again in studio, as always, by the one and only Mr. Brent Van Weelden. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
He's also our first guest, so you get paid the same, of course. But he's also the head coach of the boys and girls varsity wrestling teams. And we're joined by a couple of your junior wrestlers today, so I'm excited to talk to them. Chase Griner of one of the Griner clans here in town, who knows which one, and Jillian Langstrat, whose mother I know a little bit from banking. So what do we have going on this week?
Well, first off, just on behalf of the Washington Community School District, I want to give my condolences to Max Cousins' family. Max passed away. He retired from teaching at Washington in, I believe, 1996. Coached several things. I know he coached football, baseball, track, boys and girls basketball. So obviously had a huge impact on many of the lives of the kids at Washington. And from what I understand, the memorial in his name is to give a scholarship to a female athlete who wants to go run in college. So great man, great individual, been around Washington for a long time. So just want to give my condolences to the family. Yeah,
I think that's great. And that's a nice recognition of all Max Cousins' work. I knew him peripherally. I've met him a few times. He's a really wonderful man. I know actually my wife, I think, played for him at one point, and for a long time would get like birthday cards and things from him. I think just a very thoughtful person. And
yeah, I only met him a few times too. When I started teaching here in 2006, he was still helping out with the track teams and stuff for many years. And right now, our middle school girls track meet is named in his honor. So yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but other than that, last weekend or the weekend before, our large group speech team had an outstanding weekend. They received 9 out of their 11 groups. They had 9 Division I ratings. I want to just take a moment here to hopefully name all these kids. Ashley Bowes, Isabel Murphy, Ada Kendall, Isabella Lujan, William Kennedy, Maya Broody, Iris Dahl, Amelia Dahl, Bailey Reese, Cecilia Murphy, Levi Applegate, Rita Dew, McKenna Morgan, Charlotte Windmill, Keela Aranda, Quincy Griffiths, Callie Schiebel, Claire Webina, Luna Morris, Catherine Flannery, Allison Reese, Kevin Flannery, Michaela Matheson, Matthew Vanderpaul, Molly Klinsman, and Quentin Garibay. Hopefully that's all of them. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry, but they had a great job, and many done a great job. Many of these kids, you probably recognize their names from being in the plays and stuff as well. So
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so they're a great asset to our fine arts program. So congratulations to the coaches, Brett Pearson, Anna Marie Ward, John Peterzelka, and I missed one, and John Runnis.
Okay.
For their fine work in getting these kids ready.
That's fantastic. Congratulations to all those folks, as well as the coaches. And I know a bunch of those kids. That's a great list of names right there. That's an impressive group of children.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job. They put in a lot of time after school and getting ready for their showcase. And I should mention tonight, if you don't have anything going on, they have a showcase in our auditorium, I believe, at 7:00, just to practice one more time in front of the live audience, I guess, to prepare themselves for state.
They want live people tonight? I mean, as opposed to the alternative, but they want people in there.
They want people there, yes.
They want people in there tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I got a hospital board meeting tonight, but if I get done with that in time, I'll pop over there.
yeah, I have a wrestling meet, so I won't make it either, but they do a tremendous job.
Where are you guys wrestling tonight?
We go to Oskaloosa to wrestle Williamsburg and Oskaloosa.
Boys and girls?
No, the girls aren't wrestling tonight because they have regionals tomorrow, so they're going to just get a little workout in and rest and relax.
All right, well, we can talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
What's on so we had SEBA. You tell me that has happened.
Yes, the individuals went there and performed with the honor band. Obviously, I haven't talked to Don about that lately, but obviously everything must have gone all right, so congratulations to them as well.
Do you know when the next pep band is playing?
I believe they're playing tomorrow night.
For the girls?
For the girls.
Well, what about a game that I might be at?
I don't know. I don't look past this week, so I'm not sure. I know they're not playing Saturday. Well, that's the Anamosa makeup game. And we go to Mid-Prairie on Monday, boys and girls, so it's not in the immediate future.
Well, Hughes told me last year that I'd be able to sit in on the drums for one of those things, and I've not had a chance to do it yet. Because you got me at the PA booth half the time.
You know what? I'm gonna write it down.
Just mention it to him,
Mr. Hughes.
He can say no. It's fine. I'll do that. He tells me no all the time when I ask him if I can play in the orchestra pit for the musicals. So I'm used to getting, the no from him.
All right.
I can handle it.
Yeah.
Fine, it's okay. No pressure.
Yeah.
You're lost, but no pressure. All right. Well, why don't we'll go ahead and take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Washington Demons wrestling and how those seasons are shaping up. And then after that, we will go ahead and talk with some of your wrestlers. How's that sound?
Very good.
All right.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our communities stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Welcome back to the Washington Demon Coaches Show. I'm your host, Todd Patterson, and I should mention we're powered by KCTC, which I think that's the second time in about 30 of these that I've gotten that right. So sorry to KCTC. Now joined in the studio by Brent Van Weelden again, who's the varsity wrestling coach for the boys and girls, and two of his wrestlers, both who have indicated that they've never watched this show. So it's good to have fans on. But I'm joined now by Chase Greiner and Jillian Langstrat. So I look forward to talking to them in just a moment. Oh, and I would add that I coached Chase in football with your dad, by the way, and he has no recollection. So I don't know if, we let him get hit in the head too much or exactly what happened there, but I'm glad I made such an impression on the youth.
Well, I have a story about Chase, so don't feel so bad. It's the bowling story, Chase.
The bowling,
it's, was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, so you'd have been a freshman, and we were towards the end of the season. There was a couple we needed a couple bowlers to fill out the bowling team. So I said, "Hey, does any wrestlers want to join the bowling team so they have enough?" And Chase's response was, "Are the bumpers up or down?"
Yeah.
Well, so we didn't choose him.
It's a fair question, though. It's a fair question. It really does improve your score.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
So, he wasn't one that we selected to help the team that year, but anyway.
All right, so now I got to switch off activities director and coach. How are the wrestling teams doing, and what's the update on the wrestling teams?
So we're winding down the regular season, preparing for the postseason. Things went pretty well this past weekend. The girls went to L&M and did real well. Tegan was first, I believe Jillian was fifth. So they performed real well. The boys went to Southwest Valley in Corning.
That was a 2-day tournament.
Yeah, that was a 2-day tournament, and we placed 12th out of 28 teams. Had four individuals medal. Aaron Boone and Jude Carter were second. And then Caden and Chase Greiner were both fourth. So I was real pleased with how we wrestled. We went to this tournament to get real good competition, to see kids that we'd never seen before, and we were successful. Aaron lost a tough 8-7 match in the finals. Chase, wrestled a couple matches. Beat a couple tough kids, and then lost a couple times to some real tough kids. But the whole thing about reaching out and seeing kids you've never seen before in schools you've never seen before is to learn how other people around the state wrestle, and I think we did that. I think we accomplished our goal. So, I think we're in a great position right now to finish the season. I think the girls are in a great position to move into regionals tomorrow. So I'm real happy with the way individually our kids are progressing.
So to get fourth place, that's a lot of matches, probably in a 28-team event. How many times did you wrestle?
I think it was 2 the first day and then 3 the third day, or the second day.
5 times total?
5. How
many times did you wrestle to get fifth? That's a slog too, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I wrestled 4 matches, I think, Saturday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, were you wore out?
Yes. I only had maybe 45 minutes between each of my matches, so I was just going, wrestling, and then a little break, and then getting ready to wrestle my next match. So.
Are you a pinner? That's where you got to be a pinner, right? You get out like Spencer Lee, you spend 30 seconds on the mat, take the rest of the day, 30 seconds on the mat, take the rest of the day.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, get less tired that
Actually, I will say, I don't know if Chase is aware of this, but I think you have 25 pins on the season.
Really?
And the record's 29.
Hey.
So
a few more.
He's getting close.
So you're not going the full time. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You wrestle 5 matches, but it's half what normal people would do.
Well, some of them are late in the period.
Well, I'm assuming you're the one pinning.
You
haven't got pinned 25 times.
His one match at Southwest Valley, I think you were losing 7-2.
Yeah, something like that.
And then I yelled, and then you pinned the kid in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So
because you were afraid of your coach.
Yeah.
The wrath.
He said something he's working harder than you or something like
Yeah.
that. And I was like, well, gotta work harder than.
Yeah, and you got the kid on his back real quick. So
what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
So,
but so Southwest Valley was good. I mentioned the girls' regionals tomorrow.
So talk about how that works with respect to state in particular.
So the girls have 8 regionals, and they take 4 girls out of each regional to the state tournament. So they'll have a 32-person bracket at state. At regionals, you have to get top 4. So I've looked at all the kids in the bracket. So, for example, Jillian doesn't know this, but there's 16 girls in her bracket. Jenna and
Well, she knows now.
Yeah, she knows now. Jenna and Peggy both have about 16. I think Tegan has about 12. So, they'll wrestle all day tomorrow. We leave about 7 in the morning. They weigh in at 9. Wrestling starts at 11, and then they're hoping to give away the awards between 5 and 6. But it's a big 16-person bracket or 32-person bracket. Some of them will be, and they'll wrestle it out to see who the top 4 is, and it'll be a true 4th. So if
there's wrestlebacks,
there'll be wrestlebacks for a true 4th. So they'll get a lot of matches in, hopefully, and like I said earlier this week to some people that like Jillian's been able to practice now a couple weeks in a row and getting healthy, and Tegan obviously is doing real well. She won the tournament like last week. I think she's 28-4 or something on the season. But real excited. It's the inaugural regional tournament for girls, because this is the first year it's been sanctioned. So it's a big deal. I think the sport of wrestling for girls it's up like 1,200 participants this year from last year. And then our boys tonight we wrestle we go to Oskaloosa to wrestle Williamsburg in Oskaloosa, which will be tough. Williamsburg is also a good, always a good team.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this weekend we finish up with tournament at Fairfield, and the regular season's over.
Probably means you're hungry right now, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Actually, not too bad.
Not too bad? Because you guys got to weigh in an hour before, right?
Right, yeah.
We used to weigh in the mornings.
That'd be a lot
and
better.
then you eat all day. But it did some strange things to your stomach, and you're usually about 15 pounds heavier by the time you actually wrestled. So I'm assuming that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yep.
So then boys, the sub-state, or they call that regionals too? When will
they call that districts.
Districts.
So we are hosting districts on February 11th. So we are fortunate enough to host the district tournament, which has 8 teams, and then the top 2 from that go to the state tournament. So it'll be fun. I'm glad it's in Washington Gymnasium. I think that gives us a little bit of advantage not having to get up as early and wrestle in your own gymnasium.
Not only that, but you can go right over to the Aces and Eights show at Uncle Neff's immediately following.
I saw that on Facebook.
That's going to be a pretty good day.
Yeah, so.
You guys can't. Sorry. You probably wouldn't like the music. You probably wouldn't know any of the songs. And you'd be like, who's the drummer? I've never seen him before, who used to coach me and just interviewed me recently. It's fun. All right. Why don't we take another quick break, and then I want to, unless you had something more to add.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk with your athletes.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
All right, welcome back to the Washington Demon Coaches Show. I'm your host, Todd Patterson, also known as the Patterson Van Weelden Power Hour, and Mr. Van Weelden is doing double duty today, so we thank him for that. Now I want to talk to a couple of his athletes here today. We have Jillian Langstrat and Chase Greiner. Chase, what's your first memory of me? Today, when I walked in the studio today? No, I'm just kidding. Joe, why don't we start with you? Tell me a little bit, what year are you, what weight you wrestling at, how long you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling since first grade year, I think, and it's been pretty much my entire life since I can remember. I've been wrestling. For districts, I'm either going to go 52 or 60, 160. So I haven't really decided which weight I'm going to go yet.
Which have you been wrestling mostly this year?
I started at 60, but then I went down to 52. So I'm kind of like in between there.
Uh-huh. What'd you play football at, just out of curiosity?
Like 63, not that bad.
Right. Yeah. And so you're a junior.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sounds like, based on what Mr. Van Weelden just said, that you're a fairly prolific pinner.
Yeah, I don't really like to drag too many matches out too far.
So, So talk to me about your general style and approach to wrestling.
On feet, I usually do duck unders, I like that. I've been trying to do firemen's lately, but it hasn't really been working out too well. And
you have to do them quick.
Yeah.
You can't let the guy get weight on your head.
Yeah. And on bottom, when I'm on top, I like to get like a wrist and then chug that out, and that's usually how I pin people. The farmer, I like that.
What's the farmer? So it probably is a different thing in my world. Some sort of arm bar or tilt?
Like you have the arm on the back, and then you put the other arm and you grab your own wrist pretty much.
Oh, sure, okay.
Or you grab the other person's wrist, Yeah,
and then tilt them up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's I didn't know what that was called. I thought it was called a Patterson. That wasn't that funny. So what's your sort of favorite part about wrestling? Because it's a tough sport.
Yeah. Favorite part. Probably just the overnight tournaments. I like those.
Hanging out with
the team. Yeah. I like those. That's the best part.
So, any future plans at this point? You want to wrestle at the next level?
Probably not. I don't really want to go wrestle somewhere in college. I kind of just want to focus on my academics in college. Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts on where you might go yet, or is it still too early?
Northern Iowa. I like that a lot.
Northern Iowa?
Yeah. I still need to visit, though, but that's kind of my plan right now. The college on my mind.
It's not bad. That's where my wife went. I have to sometimes slow things down for her. I wish I had that. I hope she's not watching. That was a bad one. And our producer went there, too, so.
My son went there.
Yes. I'm regretting a lot of this conversation so far, if I'm being completely honest. All right, Jillian, let's talk to you a little bit. So, what year are you?
I'm a junior.
Okay. And how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling 2 years now.
Yeah.
This is my second year.
So, I'm interested. So, what weight are you wrestling at?
110.
Okay. What are the girls' weight classes? I'm not even sure I know.
Girls' weight classes are different than boys this year. So last year I wrestled 106 for boys, but girls start at 100 and go up every 5 pounds until it gets to like 155, and then it starts jumping by 15.
Okay. You like Coach was saying, there's been a huge explosion in girls wrestling. Like, what are some of the biggest differences you've seen? I mean, just like you're kind of right on the forefront of a lot of cool things that are happening in girls wrestling. What are some of the big things that you're seeing different?
Well, just like last year compared to this year, seeing a lot of girls coaches and like the coaches actually being women who wrestled is different, and like having actual girls tournaments all the time instead of us wrestling with the boys as well as wrestling just girls. So it's really different now having like an actual girls team and just girls tournaments. No like being with the boys, no boy tournaments, nothing like that.
I mean, I think you're going to probably look back on this and be like, I was right at the beginning of that. And that's something to probably be pretty proud of, I think. It'll be pretty neat. So what's sort of your style of wrestling?
I'm pretty basic when it comes to wrestling. I mean, I I really like my snap down go behind for my takedowns.
How do you set that up, just out of curiosity?
I get
Push
a
in?
really tight collar tie, like really tight. And then I just kind of yank them down.
Get your legs out of the way and swing behind them, huh?
Yep. And then on top, I like to go basic, half, power half, butcher. Nothing too crazy.
Butcher, do you do the baker or the candlestick maker? How about the farmer? Do you have that one?
I don't ever use it.
I just now learned it.
I don't ever use a farmer.
So are you a pinner, or do you go pretty much, not like Chase, right? Like you can go the whole period?
I can go the whole period. I prefer not to. But I think I've won like 8 of my matches so far. I haven't really wrestled that many matches this year, but I think 6 of them were pins.
Nice.
So I try and pin them as much as possible.
Well, that's the goal of the thing. Just out of curiosity, they go 2-2-2?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? So all the periods are 2 minutes. Did you ever wrestle? You probably wrestled 1-1-1 format. You were in middle school. They wrestle 1-1-1 or
I think it was
2-1-1.
They wrestle 2-1-1, yeah. Youth wrestles 1-1-1 through, I think, 6th grade still. And then I think actually 7th and 8th grade AAU wrestle 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So it's different, I think. But yeah.
Interesting. So Coach was talking a little bit about you coming back from some injuries. So how is that going for you, and what are the challenges with that? And
It's good. So the season started for girls October 31st, and I had an emergency surgery at the beginning of October to get my appendix out. So I was kind of struggling like with the whole fact of can't really use my stomach. So I tried to get back as soon as possible and just went for it and tried to make sure that my recovery was good, but also being able to do everything that I normally would do, which this wasn't my first stomach surgery, so I'm like kind of used to being able to do recovery well and get back into everything normally. So it wasn't too hard to get back to normal shape.
Well, just as a note, I'm hoping that if they were taking your appendix out, that they weren't in your stomach. Just
No.
as somebody who works in a hospital, you might want to just ask them about that. What's your favorite part of wrestling?
Honestly, I like the feeling after like being so tired. So like, as you said before, it's a really hard sport, and I like the feeling of knowing like I just put myself through this, but I made it through. I like to be able to just be like, you know what, that was hard, but I did it, and I didn't give up.
That puts you in about 1% of the population. That's a really good. It's a really good trait to have going forward. I'll tell you that. Do you have any future plans?
I do. So I want to go to the University of Iowa in their nursing program, and I would like to go into anesthesiology eventually.
You want to be a CRNA? Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist. That's, you go through the RN program and become an anesthetist, then you can come to a place like Washington and work.
Yeah. So that's my goal, is to start with nursing and then work my way up.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's great. That's great news. Well, you guys have anything more that you'd like to add? Chase? You're going to remember this, hopefully.
Yeah, I remember this time. Don't forget. Don't worry.
I'm a little worried. Anything you want to add? You guys did great. Thank you for being here, and thanks for being our guests. And also, best of luck at regionals, best of luck at districts, and I will try to, especially districts, since that's at home, I will definitely try to get over for that. But I got to plug for the Aces and Eights band on February 11th at Uncle Neff's. I got to get over for that, obviously. But I wish you guys the best of luck. It's nice meeting you. Chase, it's nice meeting you again. Signing off from the Journal offices, I'm your host, Todd Patterson. Have a great day.